In this training we're going to discuss GRVs. I have broken up the GRV or the goods receiving module into different parts. Some of the parts that we will look at is account details, we'll look at selecting of stock, we will look at external charges, extra charges, and even discount. To start goods receiving, we're going to click on process and goods receiving. In other words, what are we going to do here? We are making a duplicate of the original invoice that you've received from your supplier for goods you've purchased. So under account number, we select a supplier from our list. In other words, these suppliers we've already added under creditors maintenance. I can click on the down arrow and press enter, or instead of using the mouse I can use the keyboard alt down arrow and then select a creditor from my list, and then I press enter, or you can click on it and you can click on accept. What will then happen is it will display their name and address details. If you've added any additional address details, we can click on the little down arrow and we can say select additional. Here it will now display the extra delivery addresses that we've added, and I can click on accept and it will then change to that detail. Or if you've done that and you don't want to use that address anymore, you can click on reset and it will change back to the original address. The next option we're going to look at is the GRV details. There's two dates here. These dates are very important. The first date is the date you have processed this GRV on, and the original date will be the date that your supplier has invoiced this for. A delivery method, if you had a delivery method. An order number, in other words, that is your order number. The supplier invoice number is very, very important. This is the invoice number on the invoice that you've received from them. You cannot process this GRV without that number. If you wanted a GRV memo, you can fill that in, and if you had a delivery note number, you can add that as well. Then we can look at the difference between the GRV being inclusive or exclusive. At the moment, if my options are no, it means that it is exclusive. The default is normally inclusive, but you can easily change it so that it's now an exclusive invoice. In other words, what's the difference? The unit price that appears will now be without VAT. In other words, you'll have a goods total, then you'll have a VAT amount, and then you will have the total at the bottom. And this concludes account details of the GRV module.